All right, hello everyone. Here we are, hole number 8. One thing that I want to make a note of, make sure that you bring your Spitfire and Nirvana on this hole for sure. You don't want to get yourself in a tight spot. This is a very, very tough hole. One of the toughest par 4s they've probably put together in quite some time. As you can see, there's not a lot of fairway room. And a couple different ways that we can go about doing this. You can try to get over here for a little bit more risk reward. I may end up doing that approach with Epoch 6, Epoch Type 7s, because what I like about, even if you wind up in the bunker, if you go aggressive like that, and I did this on my guides the other day, if you go aggressive and don't pull it off, that's fine. You're close enough to the hole. If I go for this shot over here and mess it up, I'm not getting to the hole. So the fact that and another thing I want to mention, you can see the accuracy of extra mile. I don't recommend going extra mile here. You can see my opponent does get lucky and hit the fairway. It doesn't look like there's enough to even great ball to hold on to that fairway with the accuracy of extra mile. It just doesn't have any. So if you have to go extra mile, I would say probably even going rock is a better alternative than extra mile. So do keep that in mind. You can see, look how big a ring is. So you can see the difference between one ring is center of the fairway and right edge of the fairway, for instance. So we are going to use very close to the max line here. About 8-ish rings. So that should get us set up. As I mentioned, if I go for that shot and don't pull it off, if I roll into the rough, I'm probably not getting to the green. So with that being said, the best alternative may be to just blast it down there. Being able to get it down there far enough, just in case a mistake is made, because alternatively, if I roll into the rough, I might be able to land right around there and top spin it all the way up. So another thing you may want to do for safety precaution is just bring a Win 4, Power 4, Win 3 type ball, Kingmaker X, something like that, just to keep the length on to make this just a little bit easier. Now, this approach is going to be fairly tough to pull off. There's going to be a very tough side wind, and you're also going to be pulling down a hill. And anytime you have to land on a side hill like this, very challenging to do, especially when we're pulling rings to an angle. Makes it even tougher. Keep in mind that typically makes the ball land a little bit shorter. So you're going to see quite a bit of offset and kind of through the hole, because I expect when I move down this hill to kind of get a little bit lower, thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 10-ish rings, since I'm not quite at max. Perfect ball. Let's just see how this looks. Pretty good, but you can see, it definitely ends up coming up just a tiny bit short, and also maybe not quite enough on my ball guide offset. Overall, not too bad, especially for a first attempt. You can kind of see what we're looking at, but do keep in mind, what I'm mentioning about how the ball's kind of rolling up the hill just a little bit shorter. You'll probably have to roll through with the ball guide just a little bit, because when you pull down rings to lower ground, it's just going to kind of cause that anomaly in the game there. So do keep that in mind. Good luck with that hole, and I'll see you guys on the next one.